I'm allergic to fish seafood. It's not the anaphylactic type of allergy, thank goodness, so I'm not going to die if I eat some, but I do throw up and have a stomachache and a massive headache for a few hours. Enough fish seafood and I break out in small red hives over my arms. My mother didn't believe it, and as a child, I couldn't stand up to her properly. She'd force me to eat stuff with seafood or fish in it to prove I wasn't allergic, then ignore me as I was sick. One day, she held a dinner party. I was dressed up beautifully and trotted out to parade before the guests. At the time, I was around about 9, precocious for my age and absolutely fed up with my mother making me sick. When she held out a fish cutlet, fish cooked with vegetables, rolled into a ball, covered in batter, and fried, for me to eat, I saw my chance. Me, loudly. I can't eat that, I'm allergic to fish. Mother. No, you're not. Eat it. Me. I am allergic. I'll throw up. No Asian mother will back down in front of guests for fear of looking like she can discipline her child. My mother grabbed the fish cutlet, shoved it to my mouth, and said in her firm voice of command, "Eat." So I ate it. Cut to about 10 minutes later. I go up to my mother and tug on her sorry to get attention. Me. I don't feel well, barf. I vomited on her, on the expensive carpet, and in full view of all the guests. My mother has a reputation for being a kind, generous, charitable, and very religious woman, so in front of all the guests, she couldn't do anything except act sympathetic and send me off to bed to recover. She never made me eat fish or seafood again. She got what was coming to her. I don't understand why people can't wrap their heads around others having allergies. My mom forgets and refuses to accept that I have a fruit allergy every time I'm visiting. Every time. Even my mother-in-law makes exceptions for me by not mixing fruit into food and leaving it in a bowl for others to mix themselves. Well, she did learn her lesson at the cost of a dress and a carpet. But worth it to OP, I guess. OP. Well, it's not like I'm the one who had to pay for the dress or the carpet. I did end up punished for not throwing up in the bathroom the way I would have normally done, but my please of you said that I have to ask permission before leaving the party for any reason at all. Did mitigate it. I wasn't fond of parties. I would have snuck out and read in peace if I'd had the chance, hence her refusal to let me leave without asking. I'm lactose intolerant. My grandma refused to believe it was a real condition and forced me to drink milk as a kid. I'd get horrible stomachaches, a lot of gas, etc. She'd then blame whatever she thought was causing it, candy, computer games, and just kept repeating how I have to drink it so my bones grow properly. It's like there weren't any other ways to get calcium than an overdose of milk. OP. That's awful, I'm so sorry she acted like that. I think that back then, they just didn't have lactose intolerance as a diagnosis, so now older generations treat it like some newfangled thing that's been made up for attention or just a sign of how much weaker, frailer we are. It apparently never occurs to them that perhaps it was a thing back then, but either people didn't have ready access to milk all the time or people just didn't get diagnosed. So I work part-time at a hobby shop. We have a lot of kids who come hang out and play magic. We usually keep an eye on them but have been very clear with parents that we are not a daycare. We have magic camp and DD camp and we watch the kiddos during that time, but anything else it is the parents' responsibility to be around in case they need to pick up their kid. We have this one kid, NK, who comes in every week and his parents drop him off for 4 or 5 hours. He has nothing to do because it's slow and his parents go far distances. My manager and I have told them several times that they are welcome to do whatever with their time, but we advise they do not go that far because there could be an emergency. They always brush us off. So today NK comes in and tells us his parents are going several hours away and will be back around midnight and will pick NK up then. We close at 9. I call ED and EM. ED. Hello, this is ED. Me. Hello, this is OP at shop name. NK told us you aren't going to be around until midnight. Am I hearing this correctly? ED. That's right, we are going to a wedding 2 hours away, it will be over at 9:30 and we will head back. Me. I'm sorry but we cannot accommodate that. We are only open until 9 and I have another job to go to directly after this. ED. Well, that's just too bad because you are going to stay there until we get back. And you are going to pay to feed my kid dinner. Me. Again ED, that is not possible. If you are not here at 9 I will be forced to call the police to wait with NK until you grab him. We are not a daycare. ED. Again, you will stay there until we get there and you will feed my kid. Don't call again. Click. So I talk to my manager, we do end up feeding NK, and we call the local police. They offer to call ED. I don't know what happened in that conversation, but a friend of the family came to pick up NK. ED called us screaming at us because we are uptight idiots and need to just shut up and watch their kid. We're going to call NK's mom tomorrow and set clear guidelines for when NK comes back. Edit to add. I have already called CPS on them several times and nothing seems to have come of it. I've also called the police on several occasions as well. I think my boss and I are going to ban the kid from the store unless he has an adult with him. Edit 2. NK and their parents have been suspended from the store. If NK is to return, they must have an adult with them at all times. Either one of the two parents or a babysitter. And they have to come with an actual meal. My boss really wants to be able to have eyes on NK so we can see if the abuse has stopped. But we're protecting ourselves first. Those guidelines should be that he's within arm's length of a parent or guardian at all times, or he's not allowed in the store. If he's there alone, he's considered abandoned and the cops get called. That's not to hurt the kid, it's to protect you guys. If something were to happen to him, under the present arrangement you could be considered a caregiver, meaning you're legally responsible for him. If he eats something and chokes on it, or wanders off, or any of dozens of other things, you could be held liable, both civilly and criminally. OP. I think this is going to be where it goes, sadly. They before have told me to just leave him outside until they get there. I refused. I don't work very much, but I finally told my boss I think we need to do something. Why aren't they banned from the store already? Once or twice I get it, but this is repeated behavior from the parents. After they said they were headed for a wedding, I would have informed the manager and called the cops immediately. That's pretty much abandonment right there. OP. I did inform the manager and call the cops immediately. I don't have a lot of banning power. I can if someone is rude and disrespectful, but the kid isn't. The family needs to be banned from the store. It's too bad that NK loses a potential source of friends and entertainment, but he has only his parents to blame. Let the father know that due to his abuse of your system and his idiot behavior, they are no longer welcome there, and the police will be called to remove them as trespassers. So I work for a major American airline. Literally AA actually, and I've had a plethora of EPS call me in my career so far, but this story takes the cake. So I pick up the call. Thanks for calling American Airlines, how can I help you? EP. Yes, I'd like to get seats for my flight. Me. Do you have your record locator confirmation number? EP. No, but I've been on hold for an hour. Me. Okay ma'am, do you have anything I can use to help you look up the flight info? 10 minutes later. Me. Okay, I see this is a Costco travel agency third-party booking with British Airlines, but as a whole domestic flight. What this means is for some reason Costco booked this passenger on flights within the US, but technically BA controlled the flights. This means there will be an external reservation fee of $50 person per person. EP. Okay, I just need flights so my family can sit together. Me. Pulls up the seat map. Okay ma'am, I see we have paid seats available to sit your family together as they are the only seats left open on the plane. EP. What? I'm not going to pay for those seats. You all need to accommodate me as I have a 15-year-old that isn't sitting near me. Me. Well ma'am, I am just telling you what I have available as Costco booked the seats how they did when you were booking with them. EP. My 15-year-old will have an anxiety attack if you don't sit us together. Me. Ma'am, while I understand what you are saying, 15 is old enough under our rules to be a young adult traveling alone. EP. Well, you are going to have a yada that has a panic attack if you don't give me those seats. Me. Ma'am, do not curse at me again, or I will end the call and make sure the next agent that gets a call from you understands how you treat us. EP. Okay, I'm sorry. Please don't hang up on me. So what can you do to sit us together? Me. Again ma'am, we only have the main cabin extra seats available. I cannot unassign other passengers from their seats. EP. You know I don't like your tone, you have a bad attitude. Me. Ma'am, I am just working within the rules corporate has given me. EP. Listen here, you idiot. Me. And I'll be disconnecting due to your bad attitude. Handled a Karen perfectly here. Next customer service rep may get a more polite Karen as a result. OP. I can disarm some, but others just think I'll give them free first class. No, I won't if you're being horrible. I might if you are a decent human being and we just messed up your vacation at the last minute. Even then that is rare for me. Not everyone is getting an accidental upgrade to first class because I forgot to set up the downgrade from first to main cabin. You have to be having a truly crappy day for me to be willing to put my job on the line like that. Dear EP. In light of your treatment of staff, we have upgraded you to be loaded in the baggage compartment so that you can all be together. Have a nice day. Dang, that is some aggressive stuff right there. It's good that you have a company that allows you to click on people who are being hostile.